Every time that we have political rallies, when you need to mobilize people in a rally, majority of them are youth. But when government is formed and when we sit at the decision-making table, we become the minority.
What we need to do as young people, we need to learn our position and we need actually to know where we are heading to.
We have talked about the divisions of class, the divisions depending on ethnicity. There is a gap to learn from our history. Has this constitution really been implemented fully? Is it progressive or retrogressive? The current state of our education system doesn't allow people to dig deep into the history. We need to go back there as young people, precisely, and learn about our constitutional history, learn about independence journey. And when you're looking at these things, we need also to look at the pros and cons. Welcome to Mike to the Movement podcast, episode 2. I'm your host, Job Kiragu Muriithi. This is a podcast where we speak loud to the movement about policy, youth engagement, and civic engagement. This episode is fully sponsored by the Vijana Mbele Foundation, VMF, an nonpartisan youth organization that works towards youth engagement, youth advocacy, and strengthening of democracy. Today, I'm honored to be joined by one guest, the Honorable Edwin Musembi, who is a youth advocate and a consultant on matters civic engagement and governance. He has worked with an array of youth organizations across Kenya and also in the public sector on democratic advancement and engagement. Mheshimiwa Musembi, karibu sana.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Happy New Year, first of all.
Happy New Year. Sijakuona hii mwaka ndivyo.
Now I'm here, and I do not take it for granted for you inviting me into this noble initiative by Vijana Mbele Foundation.
Karibu.
It's been a pleasure, and I'm here to discuss matters youth, devolution, state capture, you name it. Anything that pertains youth is of importance, and we need to discuss it.
Karibu sana. Thank you for making time, Mheshimiwa. And maybe if you could just tell us a little about yourself, what you do, and why you're here.
Okay, so my name is Edwin Musembi.
Yes.
I'm a youth from Kenya. Mm-hmm. I'm a global citizen. I'm a consultant in matters leadership, governance, and gender inclusion. I've worked with different NGOs and different national leaders, and I'm privileged to be here and to be proud of the things that I'm doing behind the scenes. We do not take it for granted.
Thank you. As we begin with Bwana Musembi, I think we are approaching now 15 years of devolution, which was brought into the system of governance through the Constitution of Kenya 2010. So we adopted a two-tier system of governance where we have the national government and the county governments, the 47 county governments. So basically power was transferred from the centralized system to the local governments, which are the county governments, to ensure self-governance, to ensure equitable share of resources, and also to ensure that there is sustainable development at the most local level. Looking forward and looking back 15 years of the devolution, in my view, I see it as both a poisoned chalice and a mixed blessing. Why? Because we have faced a perennial problem of pervasive corruption. We have faced a problem of mismanagement of funds and also lack of accountability within the county governments. Some of the county governments have been able to bloom in this toxic soil. Counties like Murang'a, counties like Makueni County, they have been able to bring maendeleo and development to the people. Looking back at that, the question is, Musembi, is devolution at the brim of collapse if something is not done? What's your view on devolution?
My view on devolution is that Kenya is at a crossroads,
Yes.
as you've said. If not taken seriously, and if devolution does not get the leaders that it deserves, it might actually go down the ocean.
Yes.
But so far, so good. Devolution is coming up well. Initially, we transitioned from the Majimbo system, where we had the districts. You remember when we were having the commissioners and all that?
The regions, yeah.
Yeah, and the regions, the 8 regions, Nyanza, Coastal, Nairobi,
Yeah.
Western.
Definitely.
Now we have counties. I feel like that system is, the system that we have right now, devolution,
Yes.
is bringing power to the people. It's localizing and making sure that the local monarchy at the grassroots gets the development that they deserve. And they ensure, and it ensures that the local taxpayer benefits from the taxes he pays. So devolution helps and has helped, but at the same time, it's at a very tight situation, because it may be captured by the state and be used to instigate politics of ethnicism and division and the rise of tribal kingpins. And that is the same system that it sought to have solved. Yeah. So we should be very careful with devolution, that we don't go back to the Majimbo system that had ethnic kingpins, had the citizens could not get maendeleo, the citizens could not get development. So this devolution is a good thing, but should be treated very carefully so that we don't go astray. So as for me, devolution is really an inspiration, and I want to congratulate the promulgators of the 2010 Constitution for bringing such a noble initiative to Kenyans.
You know, thank you for that submission. You know, really, most of us who go to the mashinani, and I've gotten to understand that the citizens, most of them work on assumptions. They lack the understanding of how these governments are run. They will blame a leader simply because of a project that even is not the role of that certain leader to do that project. And I've attended various conferences and also workshops on matters public finance. And I saw it's quite important for the people to understand how public money is raised and reaches that person in that specific ward and that specific area. And I think, in my view, most of the public money, you know, is gotten through tax revenue, and some of it is also gotten through loans and grants, right? Then this money is also consolidated. After it is consolidated as one, then Parliament divides that money through something we call the revenue allocation formula. Then it is decided how much is to remain with the national government, then how much is to go to the counties, which is the amount that is supposed to go and allocated to the counties is 15% of the total revenue that is raised. So after it goes to Parliament, now the revenue allocation formula, something that you have heard of, and it has had a lot of controversies. And now the interesting thing about the revenue allocation formula, it is revised every 5 years. Currently in Kenya, we are working with the 4th basis of the revenue allocation formula, which is guided under the thematic areas of poverty levels, population, which is very important, size and the geographical size of that county, and other factors that are also used to, to divide that money. Looking back in the fiscal year and the financial year 2024-2025, counties got about 387 billion Kenya shillings was allocated to counties, which is called the equitable share. From the history, from the inception of devolution, that is from 2013 to now, 2026, I think counties have gotten about 3.2 trillion. This is the money that has gone to counties. Now, when you look at the perception of the past, of the people. We expect development. We expect, with such kind of money, we expect a lot of development happening in counties. But we have seen the problem of corruption. You have seen the reports by the Auditor General, which shows misalignments in the funds that are allocated to the county governments. What is it? What is the problem? Is it a problem of mismanagement? Is it a problem of megalomaniacs who want to eat public resources? Is it a problem of the citizenry? What is the problem in Kenya?
There are a lot of problems in Kenya, and thank you for the good history you've given. There are a lot of problems in Kenya. First of all, it's on the campaigns.
Yes.
The purpose of devolution, or rather, devolution has provided for the top seat at each county. The governor, we have the senator, we have the MP, we have the MCAs. One root of the problem is that the cap for campaigning that is set by the IEBC is not followed. You find a president spending over 10 billion to get into office. You find a governor spending over 200 million to get into office.
Wanatumia 10 billion.
10 billion. You find an MCA spending over 20 million just to get elected. A ward that you can just walk around with a motorbike. Somebody is spending 20 million to get into office. So the problem that emanates from this is that immediately when I get into office, you've been elected and you spend that amount of money. The first initiative that you do is return on investment. I have to return the money that I spent. So that is the first problem, and I feel like there should be a campaign act that already exists. It should actually be followed, and the right protocol and procedures be instigated, so that actually this campaign act is just not ignored. So that if the cap for an MCA is maybe 1 million or 10 million, they stick by that. If it is 200,000, if it is 500,000, whatever the figure, that has to be it. Because if we allow everyone to spend how they want, it becomes really challenging, because the citizens will expect development, but my first term, they usually say the first term ni ya kurudisha ile pesa ambayo nilikampeni now, then development, let's talk about second term. So that they say nichagueni sasa nimalizie hii project that nimefanya. So the first problem about spending is campaign. If we do not regulate our campaigns, then we are doing nothing.
And that's the thing, by the way, we were actually telling the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, the IEBC, there need to have clear guidelines on financing of elections in Kenya.
Definitely.
Because if you look at what happened in the by-elections in Mbele North, I think Mbele North must be a very thriving economy. Nilikuwa nasikia huko hakukuwa na change ya dhao. Because money was spent there, about billions of money, because of a single elective seat of an MP.
Yeah, true. So
there is need for proper electoral rules and guidelines, because suppose you're a young person, you want to vie.
It becomes a problem. And the challenge is that people think that the government or the candidates sponsored by the government or being supported by the governments are the ones exceeding the limits. If you look at the opposition candidate, the amount of money he also spent is a lot of money. It's just that the government had more money than the opposition candidate. But if you look at the cap, basically, over 500 million, both the opposition and the government. So it becomes a problem for any young person aspiring to get into office and to bring meaningful change to the community. The second problem is that we have what we call white elephant projects. Projects that have no impact to the community and were established. I don't want to name call or call certain projects, but we know them in our minds. Projects that have no benefit to the mwananchi. It's a very big project, a big project that has been hyped, but if you look at its impact to the community, very minimal impact. So if you are given a budget and you go and build a white elephant project, definitely you'll be at a deficit. There's some critical infrastructure, healthcare, education that will miss because you want to use it as a political stunt, a political PR to get into office or to get elected.
Let me ask you one question. You have talked about the white elephant project. I've seen since the inception of this devolution, most of the county governments and most of the governors have rushed to build multi-million-dollar governor residences. Is that a white elephant project?
Yeah, those are definitely white elephant projects. We even had a while back renovation. You wonder renovation costs huge amounts of money. We even had during a period back the Huduma card. Do you use your Huduma card?
I don't know where the data is right now.
Yeah, so a Huduma card was hyped so much, and it was supposed to replace the national ID. But right now, everyone is quiet. That money went. It was a white elephant project, basically. Kenyans were urged, take this, take this, take this. And today, no one is even talking about it. And there are no people who have been tried and tested in court. So the problem also in Kenya is that we have a lot of unnecessary projects that do not suit our geographical needs.
I was looking at the data a while back, Musembi, and government spending, county government spending.
Yeah.
And I looked and I found out that most of the percentage, about 73% of county government expenditure goes to recurrent expenditure. I mean, paying of wages, salaries, things like that. Only 26% goes to development. And, counties have, an array. County is a government on its own. It has its own executive and legislature. Sure. It has ministries of health, Ministry of Agriculture, land, public works, an array of activity, and also education. They are supposed to improve on pre-education, that is the ECD centers. But then again, that doesn't count out the fact that, 73% is going to paying of salaries, where only 26% is going to development. Whereas health, one of the most critical aspects in the world, when you look at the Abuja Declaration, Kenya is proud to be a signatory of the Abuja Declaration. They are dedicated a percentage to go to health care because it's a very critical sector. But then again, you're finding some of this money that is public money is going to
paying salaries.
That means we either have a bloated staff, in the county governments, ghost workers. Yeah,
true.
I think it's something that is working around that aspect, because how can you explain to me that the large percentage of money that you are getting is going to paying salaries? We must be having ghost workers in the county governments.
Yeah, ghost workers are nothing new in Kenyan politics, and we know that they exist, but little or no action is taken. And it's really saddening that we have 73% of the funds allocated to you are going to paying salaries. We are living in the era of artificial intelligence. Why don't we automate some of the systems being done at the county offices and being done in these national offices? You don't need some of these jobs. You find a whole department is just for a department of communications, 20 people doing the same work. It becomes really traumatizing and really hurtful for the local Mwananchi, because that money can be channeled anywhere. Let us be serious. Let us automate systems of procurement, systems of delivery.
Yes.
We need new technologies that will help us. And these systems can be borrowed from other countries. We don't have to struggle. We can go and do benchmarking. Let us adopt systems that are working in Singapore. Let us go adopt systems that are working in...
Hatujafika Singapore bado.
We are headed there. But I believe we should adopt these systems and put the need where it... put effort where the need be.
Okay. You know, you've talked about the public spending, and it's important for the citizens to understand the process of budgeting, right?
Yeah.
You know, you find leaders in the campaign. I was in the campaign also, and I know what you do. You promise people an array of things. You know, in 1 year, I'll have built
So and so, I don't know.
a school, a classroom, an ECD center. I'll have rehabilitated this particular feeder road in 1 year.
Yeah.
You know, money can't get to you unless it is budgeted, right?
True. But that's
And
not the case in Kenya.
that is not the case in Kenya. You know, you find some of the monies that are budgeted in the county budgets, there's no public participation, right?
True.
You find people wondering where these projects are coming from, you know, and it's the work of the MCA and the citizenry, you know, to be very active and act as watchdogs, you know, in ensuring that we have a transparent budget-making process. Because right now in Kenya, what the public participation process has become, it has become a PR show, right?
True.
You know, people are called in a room, they're given 200 bob handouts, you know.
And they're told to sign documents,
To sign
to
documents.
sign attendance.
That is why you have signed
The public
to approve,
participation, and you
to
don't
approve
know.
the White Elephant projects, right?
Yes, and many youths don't know that these forums that they attend, I don't know they've attended at this venue, there's a politician speaking there, he's speaking on matters governance, then you're given an attendance to sign. They don't know that is the public participation.
Data mining has become very, you know, people have become very clever.
Yeah, people have become very clever, and Parliament, all it needs is just signatures, and the rest flows. So people should be very careful. I believe we're in a digital age, so people should be very careful on the details that they share out, and not just sign documents and fill documents online. There's this event, fill in your details. By the way, if for example I find a form or an opportunity online that immediately requires my ID, I stop there with the application.
Hiyo unajua ni ya gava.
Not government per se, but I'm very careful because this data can also be sold to the Chinese, can be sold to the terrorists, the people who are in cults. Like you should be very careful with the data that you give out. With just your phone number and ID, that is enough to kukufanya mbaya.
So unataka kusema, wacha nikuulize. A while back, the government of Uhuru Kenyatta, we had this huduma number. So unataka kusema pia huduma number, fingerprints, I think also the eyes, they were...
True, achana hata na huduma number. We even had this company, WorldCoin, where it came and it was giving Kenyans, I don't know what type of dollars, I don't know, $10, you open an account, your eyeballs are scanned, your fingerprints, and then you're given an account. So that data actually went to some foreign agency. It is actually...
Japan, right?
I'm not sure whether it's in Japan, but that data is somewhere. And you know, for you to capture a state, you just need data. If right now data, for example, these telecommunications,
Yes.
I would actually propose M-Pesa to introduce, or Safaricom to introduce a feature. I saw many Kenyans proposing this, that if I send you money, on your end, you should be able to read Edwin Musembi, but my number should be 07, asterisk, and a little bit of digits, but it should not be the full number. Because why do you need that? You just need to confirm that I've paid, right? So if it's Edwin Musembi, then the number is hidden a little bit. That's actually protecting clients' data.
Oh, I saw that conversation on X. I mean, hata ukipanda mat, like...
Hey.
Ufai kuonyesha makanga ati M-Pesa umelipa.
Yeah, because umemuonesha balance yako na umemuonesha data yako. So basically it's very risky, and we are living in a digital age, I insist.
Upande mat za oyolewe konda one wana 50,000.
Atakupanga.
Atakupanga mbaya sana.
Yeah.
Moving forward, Musembi, looking at devolution,
Yeah.
at Article 55 of the Constitution of Kenya provides for that youth should be given opportunities by both the national government and the county governments.
Yeah.
According to research, you'll find that there exists a policy gap, right? Only 5 out of the 47 counties have adopted a clear youth policy. A policy document that guides the county government and the county executive and also the county assemblies on the employability of young people, on the talent promotion of young people, on the participation of young people in governance process, in the socio-economic and political process. You find most of the county government and the devolved units, all they do is PR. If they talk about empowerment of young people, it's about the governor's cup. It's about coming here and giving you some washing machines.
Talent show.
Once in a year. Talent show. We have been reduced to that. We accept we are an array of young people, skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled, literate, semi-literate. But then again, doesn't give the government the right to handle the youth aspects, the government to handle the youth aspect in such a way. Looking at the Kenya Youth Development Policy Paper 2019, which guides the young people on matters policy, it envisages that, county governments should adopt such a similar framework. A policy document that is first drafted by the county executive, then an inclusive process is done through public participation all over the county. Then it goes to the county assembly, where it is passed and approved. Then it becomes a law within the jurisdiction of that county. When you look at Nairobi City County, they have been able to adopt that youth policy. When you go to the street at night, you'll find young people sweeping, doing cleaning environment and maintaining the environment. The Green Army of Nairobi. When you go to Maranga County, from my former boss, Honorable Irongo Kangata, you'll find the Moranga Youth Service, young people engaging in employability skills. Yeah, when you go to Makueni, we have that youth policy, where you'll find young people being employed, in these value addition industries in Makueni, the mango drying factories. But then again, when you go to other counties, it's about, pictures and PR, the governor's cup, sports. Have young people been reduced to just sports? I mean, yes, we are talented, but then again, a whole budget goes only to sports. Is it right?
I mean, we have a lot of initiatives that can empower the youth, and not also everyone is talented in matter sports. There are people, or rather, there are youth who are talented in photography, videography. Yes. We have youth who are talented in drawing, arts. We have youth who are talented in fashion. There's a lady who can step on the podium and you'll have to look back. You'll have to look at that body again.
Yeah.
So lazima utasurvey. Yeah. So county governors should treat, but again I get them because it is a political campaign tool, but it's a really bad habit, especially done during terms of development. Yes. They should empower the youth. Those governors' cup should be done during campaign period, using their own money. I'm sure there's no budget, or there's no document that has indicated the governor's cup should be under the office of the governor. So it's something that has just been...
And they personalize it. The bad thing is personalize it with public money.
And the worst thing of it all, they put it on air. Yes. They go and pay for private broadcast on Citizen or NTV, and it's aired for a whole 4 hours.
I once had an appointment with one of the governors. I won't mention names. And I sat with the governor. I think the reason as to why he gave me that appointment, really, he's so executive director of an organization. So he really thought
he was really keen.
He was meeting someone very huge in this international area of governance. When he saw me, he was a bit
saddened
by it. He didn't expect to see such a young man.
He was expecting somebody who will bring finances so that he can...
Yeah. So tell him, boss, Your Excellency, I've looked at this county. I think there's something that they lacks. We don't have a youth policy. Look, I've crafted a youth policy. I'm ready to sit with you, your government, your chief officer, your CEC, and draft a proper youth policy for this county so that it can go to the county assembly, then it becomes a law. And the good thing about this policy, young people will be able to associate with you because you'll have identified with them by bringing this youth policy, one of a kind.
True. I once even wrote for one of the senior leaders in government, in actually opposition. I gave him a youth because he was really struggling. He's still struggling. I won't mention him. He's really struggling with navigating opposition politics.
Yes.
So I gave him a youth policy draft. And when I gave it to him, it was an initiative that to have youth in the secretariat, in the presidential secretariat. He looked at it and he just said, okay, I will reach out. I can tell you as of today, there is no youth in that presidential secretariat. And yet, when they go to campaign, they will tell you that, hey, Vijana power, hey, Vijana sasa ni sisi, hey, youth will be nominated.
I can tell you for a fact.
If they cannot have youth even in the presidential secretariat, how do you expect them to even nominate you? How do you expect them even to consider youth when they get into office? So youth should also be very careful when dealing with some of these leaders.
Me niliambiwa, by the way, Ebu, go back there. I think the things that you're bringing to this county are so technocratic.
Hatujafika hapo bado.
Yeah. I think you just go organize yourself and go plant some, what do we call it? Some stuff there, a fruit.
And that's the character of majority of some of these leaders. They do not see the youth potential. Youth have a potential, and when mentored well, they can really develop. And even I would recommend that each county should have a youth and digital economy. That's a whole arena that can actually generate more revenue. These photographers, when you go on Nairobi, or you go in Nairobi on weekends, on Sundays, you find youth with cameras. Yes. They have employed themselves. They have gone, looked for a camera, looked for a videographer, a video machine, mics and everything, and they're generating content. That content can actually be sold. You can send these pictures, you can sell these pictures, copyrighted by the government of Kenya. There is a lot you can do with that space alone. Photography. Kenya is beautiful. You saw recently iShowSpeed came to Kenya. Yeah. iShowSpeed is a youth influencer, is a global streamer, and he's just a mere 20, he's just 20 years old. And with 20 years old, he has done so much on the digital space that he gets attention of even, do you know how big you have to be for a president of a nation to welcome you to a country? So if youth were empowered to certain career paths, I'm not saying everyone can be a streamer, but the youth, the digital economy has so many career paths that need to be trained to the youth and need to be capitalized. Right now, sio ile era ya kusema ati lazima nikuwe daktari. Right now, sio era ya lazima nikuwe wakili. There are a lot of opportunities.
Skills.
Even these podcasts, these are whole economy that can be generated from here.
You see, I looked at iShowSpeed. You know, I was really inspired. I think at 22 nilikuwa akimbiza tu madeni pale Korea. But seeing a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, dollar millionaire, I think that guy is even worth more than some of the presidents that we have.
True.
Yeah, and it's all about skill. It's about nurturing that skill. Yeah, really.
And you see the way he comes from.
Yes.
It's a country that really accommodates the youth in digital space. Mm-hmm. And if we had that in Kenya and in African countries, would be very far, because we have our own ideas, we have our own content. If you look at, for example, the documentaries that are done, the animals are ours, The reserves are ours. So we just accommodate foreigners to shoot the content, then they sell the documentary to us. Why don't we shoot our own content? Don't we have people who can
We have
generate
great
that?
people, producers.
Yeah, so that is a new way we can think of it in the economy instead of just the governor's cap, I don't know what, which is also good. You saw, in fact, AFCON will be coming to Kenya
When is
next
that?
year, in
When is
next
that?
June, June. Around June, there'll be AFCON, which has been co-hosted by Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania.
Do they want to play it in that new stadium?
Yeah, Talanta Stadium. Actually, it will be there. And a while back, we had the Chan tournament. You saw how Kenya performed. Those were the youth at the grassroots. When there's no corruption, even in team selection, we have tremendous talent. So even as we prepare for the AFCON next year, instead of going the way of governor's cup, I don't know, why don't we have a formal way of sourcing talent and training them so that we can utilize this space?
Moving forward, we have talked on, why some of the counties have been able to survive this toxic soil.
Yeah.
And one key issue is that, because these counties have strong internal controls, they have been able to utilize technology, and they have been able to consolidate strong audit reports within their jurisdictions. One of the most notable counties that I like to see, when you look at Murang'a County, it has been able to modernize revenue collection, right? When you talked about county governments getting the equitable share, apart from the equitable share, county governments also have their own source revenue.
Yeah.
We talked about taxes. You see, when you look at the property tax, some of the tax, such as the licensing, the use of services,
Business permits,
all these are collected by the
counties.
Yeah. And also we have the Facilities for Improvement Fund, FIF, which the money that is paid when you use at the health center in a county is retained in the county level so that we can bring development and modernization in that county government. So I think if counties were able to consolidate and modernize their revenue collection, they would actually bring development.
True, and I would agree very much on that. In the financial year 2023-2024, the counties raised around over 30 million, but in the financial year 2024-2025, it exceeded to up to 60 million. So in the next financial year, I expect counties to raise even more because that was an improvement, and each county should tap into its own potential. If it is in Nyandarua, unasema huko ni cash crops za waru, you should commercialize on that. If it's Makueni, mango processing, that should be the key factor there. If you're talking about Narok, a county that does really well, I think last year it was the second in raising revenue nationwide after Nairobi. I think probably it's because of the Masai Mara and all that. It should capitalize on tourism. So I feel like these counties, like I've said, new perspectives accommodate youth and digital economy in each department or former department, but also utilize your own potential. Nairobi is a city, is a smart city. We do not expect Nairobi to be raising revenue because of farming, because Nairobi is metropolitan. There was a governor a while back who had initiative who wanted to propose that we have the safari rally, which was a very good initiative. But yeah, it was actually Machakos County, Dr. Alfred Mutua. He had the initiative of bringing safari rally, and he had everything laid out, but due to political interference, it did not happen. But it was a really nice initiative. I see people bashing him online, but I think it was, in my own perspective, a very good initiative. If we had such innovation in each county, like Narok, you can come up with a state-of-the-art facility for tourists. that will increase revenue collection by each financial year, and each county does the same.
I was looking at data, and in the financial year 2024-2025, counties' own source revenue, the money from the taxes, the property taxes, the permits, the licenses, liquor licenses, was about 67.3 billion Kenya shillings. So, and it has continued to improve over the years, as counties continue to adapt to the mechanisms of devolution. But then again, the question is, has devolution worked in Machakos? That is simply the question.
The devolution has worked.
I know you have a very big
and it has also not worked.
White House.
Yeah, we have, I think it's the largest governor residence in Kenya.
I love that. As much as we may talk of priorities, I think that was fantastic.
So devolution in Machakos County has worked and has also not worked.
Yes.
Because there is always politics going on in Machakos County. But if you look at Machakos County, we are supposed to be... Do you know Machakos was the first administrative city in Kenya? The capital city of Kenya should be Machakos County.
I didn't know.
Or would have been Machakos County. What happened was that the whites realized that Machakos was also not... The terrain was also not good. It was also malaria. So they opted to go for Nairobi. So Machakos right now, how many cities do we have in Kenya?
I'm not sure.
We have Mombasa, we have Nairobi, we have Eldoret, Nakuru,
yes,
and Kisumu. Kisumu a city.
Kisumu is also a city.
And Kisumu. So we have 5 cities. So Machakos would have been a city faster than Eldoret and faster than other counties because it's close proximity to Nairobi, and it's strategic location.
Strategic between Mombasa and Nairobi.
Mombasa. So Machakos basically, it's doing well. Devolution has worked for it, but it has not yet utilized its potential. Machakos University should be state of the art. I know it's a little bit good, but it should be state of the art.
Yes.
There was a budget according to the Office of the Auditor General, there's supposed to be Machakos Airport.
Oh, really?
But if you go right now to where that land or where Machakos Airport is supposed to be, you'll find maize and beans. So whoever was involved in that scandal is still on the loose. And EACC has first of all failed Kenyans.
Yes.
Because there was a data that showed that according to the data from 2018 to 2025, the high-profile cases, which were around 274, only 11 actually led to a ruling. That shows a 5% success rate. So that simply implies that EACC has been politically captured. It is used to intimidate people. That right now, kama Kiragu, umenikosea and you don't align with my goals and I can pull some strings, I just send EACC to come and arrest you and to embarrass you. But it does not do the audit that it deserves.
It's not independent.
It's not independent.
It has
to
been
be
overtaken
precise.
by...
Yeah, and it has been politically captured.
Yes.
And the first thing we need to do is that we need to make sure that the EACC is independent and is functionally working, because we cannot work without oversight. If people were left to work without oversight, then we will not have a county and we will not have a country. So EACC, and I will actually recommend the EACC to come up with a report each year on ranking on counties of corruption, to rank yearly which county was the most corrupt, top 10 counties with the most corrupt leaders, and top 10 performing counties.
They do release that report.
Sure, not the Infotrack and the...
Not the Infotrack, the EACC, but they don't work on...
publicity.
That data on public resources. They will have worked on data from, asking the citizenry about how do you feel about this project? How do you feel? Are you comfortable with this government?
Also, they ask just opinions, not facts.
Not facts based on how money is used. But then again, some of the data organizations have been able to link and consolidate, these funds that have been embezzled from the data from the Office of the Auditor General.
Office of the
Auditor General, yeah. So people are able to consolidate that, those discrepancies from that report.
And then now they use it for
empirical data about, are you comfortable with this project? How do you feel about this government?
Speaking of the audit, who appoints the Auditor General?
The Auditor General, the President nominates the Auditor General.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that process, for me, is not in itself independent.
Exactly, because if the Auditor General is nominated by the President and then it is set for approval in the National Assembly, so that basically means that whoever has the most numbers in the National Assembly can get anyone anywhere. And would, for example, a president who has a scandal, would he want to appoint an Auditor General who will come to jail him?
Those are very solid questions, by the way. The same questions that we should also be asking, when you look at, we are talking about devolution, county governments. These people who become ministers, CECs, chief officers, those who hold crucial ministerial dockets, do you think those people are just from out of the blues professionals? Look clearly, these are people who have vied for office and failed.
Yeah, actually,
allies of those people in office.
Yeah, CSS, boards, some of these departments are filled by public financiers, people who contributed to my campaign. I want to give a kickback. Mm-hmm. People who have failed as MPs, as senators, as governors, people of influence.
Yes. And
so it's not about the skill that you have.
It's about what you give to the table. And that is why I keep insisting that, many people will come up with, corruption as an institutional thing. I think corruption is personal. Mm. And the moment a newborn is born, I think he or she, the baby is born with corruption within itself. Because I think you and me can be corrupt right now, because I think corruption is a feeling, yeah? You feel like it's a form of reciprocity. Like if today you gave me something, Musembi, I'll feel entitled later on to give you some. Back. Yeah? Mm. So that is corrupt. It doesn't have to be about billions of money that are stolen or embezzled in public. It starts with you as a person. Are you first corrupt? Are you free from corruption? That is how corruption is. And I think moving forward, we talked about the Vision 2030. We are now 3 years to Vision 2030. Mm-hmm. We have not even achieved 35% of that Vision 2030. And Vision 2030, its centrality, it's just basically what Uhuru Kenyatta and also the government of William Ruto were able to recalculate and cut on. It's about universal health coverage. It's about infrastructure development. Some of the things in Vision 2030 have been achieved. When you look at infrastructure projects, major of them, the Thika Superhighway is now working. We have the train, the SGR system that is.
We have also women who have been empowered.
Women have been empowered politically.
Yeah, in the leadership capacity.
The leadership. I actually think even 2027, we got to have a lot of women in both parliament.
Yeah. As a person who's also passionate about gender inclusion,
yeah,
which also involve our sisters, I would commend the country, because we are headed in the right direction. For example, the affirmative action that pushed for 2/3 gender rule in parliament. Yes. I commend that initiative, where now we have, by the way, the affirmative action on women was supposed to run for 4 election cycles. It started in 2013, 2017, 2022, supposed to end 2027. That's when we're supposed to have the last women reps, but I don't know whether it will be continued. That project will continue, but I commend that women have actually transitioned from there. We had Gladys Wanga, who was a women rep. She transitioned to be a governor. So that we can clearly see that that women rep is a starting point. So other women or women in leadership who aspire to be in leadership should not consider or should avoid overstaying in that position, so that they can leave room for other women leaders to also get the platform that they got. So you don't need to seek even third term, women rep second term. Just serve your first term and progress to, you can now compete. You've now been empowered. You can compete with men. And I commend that because even political parties are now accommodating women. We have women leading in different party positions. And even the president hinted at having a woman running mate in 2027. So we still don't know. But I would recommend that we continue marching on forward. We are not yet there, but we are progressing on well. The counties also have a gender action plan, which accommodates women and youth and leadership. So as a country, hatuko pabaya. And this also is in alliance with international frameworks, the Maputo Protocol, the UN Convention. We have the African Charter on the African Charter. We have the 17 SDGs, the 5th is gender equality. So we are in alignment with the international frameworks.
I think in my work of life and the nature of work that I'm in, I think over the years I've seen the empowerment of women, politically and structurally. And also in the corporate world, you find a lot of women there, and it's such a good sense of improvement. We are embracing that, women should be part of society, should be part of leadership, and should be part of the engagement process. So as we wind up, I want you to give you 2 minutes, just 1 minute, make a statement to young people who are watching Mike to the Movement. Just a closing statement or a parting shot that now we are heading to 2027. Just a little something that might motivate them.
Okay, so for those who are watching right now, I'd introduce myself. My name is Edwin Musembi. I'm a consultant in matters leadership, governance, and gender inclusion, having worked with several NGOs and several leaders across Kenya. And my message for the youth is that if you aspire to be a troublemaker, like Nelson Mandela, like Barack Obama, those are troublemakers, you must be willing to put the sacrifice. Being a youth is not an agenda. You have to have knowledge, you have to have experience, and you have to hit the ground like anyone else. Use youth to your advantage, the ability for you to be vibrant, your energy, the energy that you have, use it to your advantage, and dare to dream. Do not be limited. Do not be told that I'm too young to contest in this position. Do not be told that that you are too vulnerable, that you do not have funds. If it is already in your mind, then you can achieve it. So at the same time, seek mentors and make sure you learn before venturing somewhere. And choose your mentors very careful. Choose mentors that align with your goals. Choose mentors that will support you and will not be jealous, because mentors can also be jealous. Do not choose mentors that will limit you. So as we approach 2027, make a decision. Join a political party that aligns with your goals, and do not be afraid to exit a political party that does not align with your goals. Choose a political party that also chooses the youth. Right. Make sure that you are there. Make sure you register as a voter. Make sure you are participating in active leadership. Do not be reduced to a goon, because you saw youths being reduced to goons. Do not be used as a goon. Do not be used in funny positions. You are an independent thinker. You are learned. Dare to dream. dare to dream if you aspire to be a troublemaker in the 21st century.
Kabisa. Bwana Edwin, you have given a very excellent submission. And I see on your socials posting Mijumbe. I think you're the real Mijumbe.
Yes.
And I wish you the best in your political endeavors. You know, really, sisi wenye 2022 kilituramba kidogo. We are learning, you know, it's a learning process, right?
Yeah.
And thank you for being here.
In fact, as I've said, youth should seek mentors. He's also one of my mentors because he vied in 2022. So there are some insights that I get from him so that I can avoid the mistakes he did when he was vying 2022, and I can also gain on the experiences that he got. So youth, I'm heavy on mentors. Get solid mentors, and do not be in a rush to declare where you will vie because it will put you in unnecessary pressure. So make sure you consolidate. Na Mijumbe is Mijumbe. When the right time comes, it will be a wave, it will be massive. And somebody said that a seed has a potential of becoming a forest.
Kabisa. You know, I want to add something about mentors. You talked about mentors.
Yeah.
I think ni ngumu sana boy child kutafuta mentor. I think the toxic masculinity that Kenyan young men have been bred in, they see mentors as some kind of femininity kind of path. But then again, it's good to embrace that path of mentors because mentors help you, you know, devise that idea that you have and put it into practicality, borrowing from their experience also and their perspective of things. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching Mic to the Movement podcast, a podcast where we speak loud to the movement about youth policy, youth engagement, and much more. Until next time, I've been your host, Job Kiragu Muriithi. Mijumbe, asante sana.
Asante sana.
Karibu.
Ambia watu wako wanifollow pale social media. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok kidogo si yuko.
At Edwin Musembi.
At Edwin Musembi.
Until next time, thank you. Every time that we have political rallies, when you need to mobilize people in a rally, majority of them are youth. But when government is formed and when we sit at the decision-making table, we become the minority.
What we need to do as young people, we need to learn our position and we need actually to know where we are heading to.
We have talked about the divisions of class, the divisions depending on ethnicity. There's a gap to learn from our history. Has this constitution really been implemented fully? Is it progressive or retrogressive? The current state of our education system doesn't allow people to dig deep into the history. We need to go back there as young people, precisely, and learn about our constitutional history, learn about independence journey. And when you're looking at these things, we need also to look at the pros and cons.